And we are live and lit.
What it do? What it do? What it do? Now, I don't even know how we should even start this show off, Jezebel.
I think we should let's just start with the
The meat and potatoes? You gonna start with the
no
potatoes
no no
first?
we're gonna get to that later. I definitely want to talk about have you heard the Lil Nas X album?
I mean, of course I did because it came out the same weekend, the weekend prior to my album coming out. So I had to hear what I was up against.
Okay, now let's talk about your album dropping. Let's talk
Now,
about that. Let me interview you, Sixxcess. What was the process of making this album? And
yeah.
I forgot it's something fool getting rich or something like is
Oh
that what
yeah, Food One.
so how did you come up with that title? And why did you choose that title for your album?
Okay, yeah. So, I'm glad you asked me that, Jezebel. So actually, I chose the title of Food Getting Rich, right? Because obviously, when I moved down here, I started working with the producer Food One Eli, right?
Oh, okay.
Now, everyone knows that I've been working with Rich now. On my last three albums, I've worked with Rich, you
Mhm.
know, and Rich is like a super producer in the game, worked with a lot of people. Really is a real testament to, I guess, this butterfly that all of you guys see before you, right? Like that's the glow. Rich is the mastermind behind the glow up of success. So on this album, I was like really trying to place and stamp myself, right? You know how you want to just be stamped and like gorilla stomp on over a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And for years, I tell a lot of people, for years, my biggest downfall was putting myself last.
Mm.
You know, even working on my last two projects with Six Speed, with That's So Six, I still was putting myself last on those projects. I was thinking of, oh, like, you know how you work with people that you admire or you look up to, and you starstruck. So with Six Speed, I was very starstruck, right? And if
Okay.
you listen to Six Speed, you probably can hear like the sound difference in it because I was starstruck working on that album. I'm like, oh my God, every song, I'm like, I can't believe I'm working with Rich, right?
Yeah.
So now, of course, with That So Six, now I'm already working with Rich, and it's like, all right, now that still is more so, I can't believe Rich likes this, right? Like,
Yeah.
you know, it's like, because we're really in the zone now. Like, we've done Six Speed, we're on That So Six, and I'm like, damn, like, Rich is really fucking with me. So now he's like introducing me to people, big rigs, little rigs, people I never met before, millionaires, billionaires, you know what I'm saying? And they're liking the music. So now obviously there's more of a confidence in everything now, right?
Yeah.
Fast forward to meeting my man Eli, which I met Eli in November.
Okay.
Like, and it's crazy because when I met Eli, we got in the studio and we recorded a lot of records. We actually have about 50 songs recorded,
Mhm.
you know. So through that whole process of recording it, when we started working on the album, Eli is like he's very much so on the club scene. He's like into the clubs and knowing what sounds are right and what records are playing. Obviously, his brother DJs. So when we scratched a lot of records, you
Mm.
know, we scratched a lot of records, and I was like, all right, once we finally got the vibe of where we wanted to go, you know how you get that feeling like, yo, we're about to do something with this album.
Right.
I'm like, we're about to get rich off of this. And I always reminded of when I first started. I'm sure, Jezebel, you can probably relate to this as well. But when you share with people your dreams, they're not hesitant to tell you how much of a fool you are.
I kind of get the opposite. I
You
kind
get
of
more
get
you get more encouragement.
I get more, okay, you have all these ideas now. What are you going to do about it? Like my friend Dion, happy belated, well, her birthday, happy birthday again, Dion. She was one of my friends. She's like, okay. last time you were sitting in my chair, you said you was going. So what are you doing? You're still working. You still got a day job. Like you have all this ambition. So get to it. So I get more of that. Like
So
stop
that
being
was
scared
more.
of yourself.
Yeah, that's more of like a backhanded motivation right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, see, I get more to you tripping. You too old for that. That what you really want to do. That I've been called. I've been told that this is the devil. You know that this is the devil's stuff. I've been told that this game is to take out our creativity. I've been told everything and anything to be deterred from being a recording artist. You know, so with that, I wanted to follow that because a lot of people are not a lot of people are paying attention right now, and a lot of people realize that a year,
Mhm.
and I don't think that that's a light thing to take, right? And I was like, shoot, we no longer playing around. And there's a lot of people that still thinks I'm a fool for following my dreams. I watched on Old Book. Old Book was the biggest motivation behind my title of that album. Because everyone thinks we just trolling. Everyone thinks that when I say things, it's just to be talking. And when I talk on this show, they think that I'm just speaking and spewing out information that I don't live by. You know, and it's
But you're
like
too
that.
old. I don't get it. You're too old to make music.
You know what's crazy? I started making music. I was 24 years old. It was when I went into the studio and recorded my first song. That first song, by my standards today, was a trash record. I didn't understand stanzas. I didn't understand hooks. I didn't understand verses. All I knew how to do was write poems, right? So when I first started, of course, no one. I can literally tell you and be 100% accurate that no one believed in me when I first said I'm going to do music.
That had to
You
be
know,
tough.
wow, tough. Listen, tough is like tough is the like tough would have been easier. I would prefer tough. That was worse than tough because not it's one thing to like not have nobody support you, but you got to understand. People don't understand. I'm not like just a nobody around my way. A lot of people speak on being a nobody or being popular very like
Mhm.
very popular. And what I have realized is I had shut myself off from popularity, right?
Mhm.
You shut yourself off from popularity when you start following, your own dreams and your own goals. When I was the most popular kid around my way, or one of the most popular kids around my way, the sacrifices that I made to be popular, it sacrificed whatever choices I was making to be, let's say, i.e., smart, the smartest kid in the school,
Yeah.
or the best athlete in the school, or just in my neighborhood. Period. Whatever, because there's a sacrifice that you make.
Yeah.
So I think that when I first started saying that I want to do music, I was meeting more people that were never in my life that was more encouraging of it because their vision is only talent based,
Mhm.
right? Everybody, once you meet new people, their grounds of accepting you is
Yeah.
based on however you present yourself. So when I went through a whole span from 2009 to 2013, you got to think like no one knew K-Ron anymore. No one knew Forest Creek where I grew up anymore. No one knew DC anymore. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like they only knew Success, and most people thought I was from the South because I talk with a slang, talk with a slur, and mind you, like I said, I didn't do any shows in the DMV.
Mhm.
So you talk about friends, like when I would hear about my friends talking about my music, it would be a lot of like, he ain't, never he is. So with this album, I like with my last project with that. So since I wanted to change that narrative, but with This album, I really had to change the narrative because of sonically. With That's So Six, I was trying to prove a point that everything that I say on this show is true. With 6B, I was trying to prove a point to Rich that I can rap with the big dogs, that I'm not just an indie guy. Like, I deserve to be on the tour buses. I mean, he had just got off tour with XS Tentacion and Blueface, you know, and Moneybag Yo. So these was his last three tours before I got to him, you know.
Mm,
So then I'm trying to show him I can hang with the big dogs. You check off that. Now I got to show everybody out there that listens to this show, that watches me and think I just troll on Facebook and that I'm not really about this life. I got to now show them with That's So Six that this is that I'm not just talking to you. I'm trying to show you how to do things and show you that it's ways to live and do this shit. But with a fool getting rich, like this was less that. I didn't feel like I had to prove anything. I felt like I had proved everything.
that's good. Now I see you have shout out to Ziggy. I see you have Ziggy and Retardo
Y-
Rich. Shout out to
Yeah,
Retardo Rich as well. Um,
yeah,
features on there. Are there any, because you know you're a huge Kanye fan? Are there any features that didn't make it to the album and you failed to tell the people?
yes, yes. So I actually, so all right, so there's actually I think six collabs on the album. There's Retardo Rich, there's Ziggy, there's Eli, Rich is on it, Artist is on it, and then ISO Zay, which is my son, he's on it, right? So those are the six collabs. I had done records with four more artists. There were four more artists that were supposed to be on the record. Now, one of the records, of course, and this will really hurt me because I lost a lot of records. You know, my email got hacked. I lost a lot of records. Also, while working on my album, my studio moved. So
Mm,
in that process, I lost a lot of records as well. So I had to redo a lot of stuff. A lot of people came down to Atlanta to do the records with me, you know.
mm.
So that's how, like, I have been working on this album since last October.
Hold on, wait, what?
Yeah, I've been
But you
working on this.
dropped. So you was already. So when did you? Okay, so I'm confused. Hold on. So did you start on this before you started on that? So six.
I started on this as soon as I finished That's So Six.
Okay.
I finished That's So Six in so June of last year is when I finished Six Speed and I put that out. And I had finished That's So Six before I moved here. I had already had that album ready.
Okay.
Um, and but I was still pushing 6 speed, and then I started dropping singles. So now now that was the secret to the rollout that everyone was asking. How did you get to so many numbers? Like I had been pushing that so six since October, but a lot of people wasn't paying attention to it. I dropped Glow, you know, I dropped Gem, then I dropped Zone, you know, and then after that I dropped the other single, and it's slipping my mind right now. But once I dropped those four singles, by the time that I got to June, I started dropping those in October. I was already well at half a million streams by then, and that's how labels and big labels do it. They drop these singles and they let
Was
these
it
singles
Pam?
push the album.
Was it
Yes,
Pam?
Pam, yes,
Okay.
Pam.
I do remember saying that a lot. Even though my favorite songs are Hero, Rise, and That's So Six.
Yeah,
Not that you care, but I'm just telling you anyway. And then
no,
also, random question about a single six. Where could we find that single of you and your artist Bag to Beat bundles? The one that you guys
trenches,
performed at your show?
trenches. Well,
Uh-huh.
bando, trenches or bando.
I have to look at my recording because I
Now
recorded y'all when y'all
trenches
performed.
is trenches is his single that is out right now on Spotify.
Okay.
That joint is actually doing crazy numbers right now. Like, and
Okay.
he's doing several shows right now that's really like helping him like push his market and push his brand. Bando, we haven't released that yet, but
Okay.
that's actually one of the next singles that we're gonna be getting ready to drop for him. Because like he on fire right now. He doing his own little like series of shows right now, and we just
Yeah.
trying to like pull everything together full circle, you know.
Mhm.
Yeah, so he got that. Go to his Spotify bag the beats bundles, and that's with a Z. You know, tell her y'all, so everybody y'all do that.
And you dropped the video to, oh, is it
Yeah,
DPYWY or
DPWI. Yeah, yeah. Don't
okay?
play with you.
So you dropped the video to that. A lot of people really liked that video. So I just
Yes.
wanted to know like what was the whole process? Like honestly, I'm not even gonna lie. I was like, I could never see you ever cheating. Let me just put that out there. Like you don't
Yeah.
seem like the type of guy that would step out. And if you did, Tiff looks like she'll whip your ass.
Now
So
I'm
just
locked in. I'm locked in. Like
so
I'm not
I
just
was
saying
like,
that because
what
I'm
the
live,
hell?
but yeah, I'm locked in.
I mean, of course, y'all been married forever. But I just was like, when I was like, oh hell no! Like I was getting mad at you, and then I saw Tip, and I was like, oh, it's just a video. So, did she have fun doing that video with you, and what was the process behind that?
So yeah, like what's crazy is I think she did have fun, right? This is actually her second video with me.
Okay, okay.
We did the For Your Love video,
Mhm.
which got really good responses, and I'm learning this. My wife is clickbait, which kind of like sometimes it's intimidating, you know.
Really? She's beautiful. I mean, you chose her, so y'all chose each
Listen,
other. You should have known
listen,
that.
listen. Like pure clickbait, and I understand that, right? So we did the video, and honestly, I was nervous as hell about that whole video. I mean, from everything from what to wear, everything from the locations, like how everything would look. All I knew is that the director said he liked the song, and I was like, "Damn, that's what's up." And he was like, "Let's shoot the video." And I was like, "Look, let's wait, because I was really nervous, right, about everything. Because honestly, I knew it was a song that needed a leading lady,
Mhm.
and I knew it was a song that like the way that it was, the vibe of it, like the vibe of it. So, and I didn't want to ruin the first time people had heard it. Now, because you remember when I sent that record out in a group chat, and
Yeah.
I was like, which one should I make the single? You know,
Mhm.
and it was crazy because it was really between that one and Cash App. But
Okay.
like everybody, well, the whole room said the exact same thing. This
Mhm.
one and this one is cool, but this one is it.
Yeah.
So what I ended up doing was I put together a small tour at like strip clubs and whatnot, right?
Mhm.
And then I took those two records to strip clubs, DPWI and Cash App, and I
Mm.
let the people decide.
Okay.
I let the people decide. So with that video, I let the director decide.
Mhm.
I'm learning now to let people that have their craft, their wings, to let them use them and fly. You
Right.
know, so I was so nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know where we were going. I just knew it was an hour away from my house.
You guys did great. Just to add, you guys did amazing in that video.
Yeah, she really wants to act. Like she wants to act bad. Like I'm like acting.
And y'all in a
Really?
perfect place for that. I actually thought about going to a few casting calls down there, just to get out. Now, a fool getting rich. A lot of people think that you cannot get rich off of music unless you get signed. And this is a topic we talk about all the time, Six. So and you're actually living it. Any you've dropped so many gems for people, but what is one thing like right now at this stage that you would like to tell people?
Like just like what you said, right? It was like the thing is, you go through your whole life trying to prove stuff to people, and the one gem that Rich gave me, that I think that one of the gems that I wanted to keep in my back pocket, because I'm like, wow, this was the advice that changed my life, right?
Mm-hmm.
But because this is the setting and how this is going, which God works in mysterious ways, I like when I say that. But the gem that he gave me was you have to treat this like a high school. You know, like
Yeah.
life. We never graduate. We always are learning. With that in my head, right? I had to say to myself, "Wait a minute, how was I in high school?" Because when I think about it, and if we all think about it, at some point we all got too mature for life.
Yeah, I
You know,
wasn't there.
it was like I ain't doing
I
that.
I, I came to school for lunch and left.
Y- See, like, and
I don't know how I
honestly,
graduated.
honestly, whatever, however your purpose was, or whatever you did in high school, when you think about how you move in real life, like now, you move the same way. You know what I'm saying? Like lunch may have been the turn up hour,
Mm-hmm.
and guess what? Guess when they see Jezebel, turn up
Yeah.
hour. Y'all ain't about to see me. Y'all ain't about to see me on the streets just walking regular. What?
Hell no. But yeah,
You feel me?
I mean, when you say it's just like high school, I think also like it's like high school all around.
All
The
around.
lunchroom,
There's still the teachers,
the
there's
clique.
still the students, there's still the cliques, there's still the gangs, there's still the sets, there's still the weird kids. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? And it's like the saddest part about it is in this industry, which is the exact same way as school, like I just explained, we got the weird kids, which are like emu, the pop kids, the rock kids, the kids that we can't help but talk about, like the Lil Nas X kids, right?
Oh,
We can't help, but we don't want to. We want to act like, oh, I don't talk to them. I don't know them. I don't. They weird to me. But yet we all can't stop talking about them. We get around our way. Did you see Johnny last night? Why was he wearing that trench coat to school and those boots? Like he was going to shoot up the place. We can't help but talk about them. So when we do our work, right? When we do our work, we look at it and we like, wait a minute, how how do we become? We still became the same kids. Nobody knew about the bad kids until they got in trouble.
yep.
Nobody cared about the sports once the jocks until sports was over. I mean, once sports was over. And if you didn't win, hell, you had to be super popular to be cool on a losing team. You know, so that's really the gem in life, right? I really don't think that it matters if you want to be an employee or a boss. You gotta think of that joint like this is school. If I wasn't cool in school, I'm 9 times out of 10 not going to be cool right now. But just like in school, you get 4 years to change it.
Mm. Now you mentioned Lil Nas X, and I know people are just tired of people talking about him.
We can't
However,
help it.
however, uh, it's a lot of heterosexual. Let me rephrase that. There are a lot of perceived quote unquote heterosexual rappers that are now jumping on the Little Nas X bandwagon. Did you hear about Kid Cudi and how his stance to support Little Nas X and break down the barrier of homophobia in the hip hop industry, and how whenever they do their music video, he's trying to get as sexy as possible with him. Now, is that
Yeah, like,
something a heterosexual male would say? Like,
and that's what I was about to say. Like, and like, cancel culture don't cancel me, because I love all people, but Kid Cudi is not the spokesman for straight men. That man got on the goddamn um red carpet last weekend in a
with
see-through dress.
in a dress, in a dress. And a lot
Like,
of women, a lot of heterosexual women do not like that. Don't want to see their man in a dress. Another thing I don't want to see, I don't want to see your thighs either. These shorts that these guys are wearing that come mid thigh, like what the hell?
like
Like,
honestly, like I don't spend enough time in the community to understand what they accept or don't accept, right? But what I'm saying is, for someone that obviously does, and which is Lil Nas X, he's obviously in that community. I don't think that it's fair for someone like Kid Cudi to try to speak on manly men accepting a Nas X lifestyle. I look at Nas X, you know what I'm saying? Like I look at this is a grocery store when you're talking about music, right?
Mm,
Music is a store. I mean, how many there are like 4 or 5 different brands of noodles. You know what I'm saying? There's
mm.
4 or 5 different brands of noodles. I can get some Mueller noodles. I can get some everyday essential noodles. I can
Get
get
some
some,
Boosie noodles.
yeah, whatever, some Bertolli noodles. Like all these things are to say to me, like, listen, you like noodles, but you still have to have options even in those.
Mm-hmm.
So at the end of the day, that may not be yours, but there's people that shop for that in the store.
Mm.
I don't look at the everyday. I know when I walk into Giant, right? I
Yeah.
know everyday essentials or is right at the bottom. So I never take my eyes to the bottom row. The only time I take my eyes to the bottom row when I'm shopping is when I'm looking for Miracle Whip. Because
Yeah.
Miracle Whip is always underneath for the mayonnaise.
Because don't nobody buy it. It's
Well,
called
but
product.
me,
It's called product placement.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, real black people should be using Miracle Whip, and
Yeah.
if y'all can cancel me if y'all want to for that, but y'all take if y'all still eating Hellman's, that is nasty. Yep,
Hellman's is nasty. It's Kraft
yep.
mayo, please.
Kraft mayo. See, you
Extra
know what?
mayo.
You know what? Did you grow up in a two-parent household by any
uh,
chance?
the last part of my life, yeah. The
Yes,
first
somebody made you.
first half of my
Somebody
life,
made you sandwiches and shit. Somebody made you big ass sandwiches with lettuce, tomatoes, and
my
whatnot on it.
dad, he used to make me
Ah,
sandwiches.
see, that's what that America. That's what the power of having a good dad in your life does. That makes you go for the craft mayonnaise. That's how you know that life is good because that's when you make that sandwich. When you got that Kraft mayonnaise, you make that sandwich. You leave a butter knife in it with the little hanging out a little bit, the top off of it, and the sandwich is supposed to be so delectably. You only supposed to get the Crafts when you in Subway. They got that. But all right, you had it. You balling. Me personally, I don't eat no mayonnaise. I don't even look. I don't even eat mayonnaise I don't even eat mayonnaise in type of salads, like tuna salads, nothing like
You
that.
don't eat
Nope.
potato salad?
No, no way.
Why
Yep.
not? He
Take my
said, "Yeah,
black card. Y'all take my black card. But I'm about to start banning chicken. I'm about to ban chicken out of my lifestyle.
yeah, yeah."
Uh,
I actually had some chicken last week from America's Best, and I chewed that shit until my gums got stolen. So I'm done with chicken too.
I was drunk as hell at Dingbats Thursday,
How was
and
it?
I was drunk as hell at Dingbats. Dingbats was lit though. You know how it is. Me and Fred was cooling. Fred
Okay.
picked me up from the airport. I went from the hotel, and we
Mhm.
went to the club. And like I performed, I opened up the show so that so me and Fred could just get tore up all night. And
Okay.
like Fred is a great host, and Dingbats
Mm,
they are great hosts. So I performed, and it was nice. It was nice. They showed me some love, man. They showed me some love. Yeah,
that's
no white creamy substances. I totally agree, but sometimes like if I'm making like anything that needs that calls for mayonnaise, it has to be Miracle Whip. I think it's the sugar level in it, maybe.
mm,
But yeah, no, with Lil Nas X, we can't help but realize that he's a brand and he's going off tracks. So I don't doubt that more rappers will be leaning more towards working with him. Drake did say that he would work with him, but he was working on his CLB album at the time, so
mhm.
he didn't have time. I found it interesting that Nicki Minaj declined to work with him on his album altogether.
What do you mean she declined?
Um,
I know what it means.
she she didn't
She
even hit the
said no.
respectfully. Yeah, she didn't even say respectfully.
Now all this shit going on with Little Nas X. Do you think like it's helping his career or
Well,
like the antics? And do you think that's really him? He said, "Fuck your kids." Did you see
yeah,
that? He said, "Fuck
yes,
your kids." So
yes.
everybody take notes of that because when he goes to the adoption agency to adopt because he's gay and he can't have kids, y'all bring that shit up. Is he the type of person that you want
Nah,
raising your kids? Talk about some
he
fuck
said,
your
yo,
kids.
he said, yo,
I wouldn't want him if you have that attitude towards kids. I can't hear you. You went out. You went out. But if you say fuck your kids, then he's not trying to raise. He's not a good, for me personally. Someone that says that, I want you to keep that same energy when you go to the adoption agency. That's all I'm saying. No, I can't hear you. Say something else.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay.
I heard it when it came back in.
Like I just unhooked the mic. Now let me tell you what's hilarious, right? Because we all say fuck them kids. There's comedians that have made their career saying fuck them kids.
Listen, but those comedians are not doing what Lil Nas X is doing though.
But it's basis. It's basis, I think, right? If they was like, how do you feel about people's kids? Fuck them kids. That's crazy, right? But he was asked, how do you feel about parents using him as an excuse of trying to manipulate their kids?
And he said
his
what?
response was, fuck them kids. I mean, now listen, no disrespect to him, right? But that's just look at somebody trying to call me. All right, let me tell you about a phone call I received, Jezebel. As I hit this blunt when I tell you this story, because hitting this blunt is significant in this story. I got a call. They say, yo, Six.
Yeah, you be getting all the calls.
I do. Because you know what? They know I'll talk. They know I'm a listening ear. But they say, yo, Six, you might, actually, they call me K. They call me K-Ron. They call me K-Ron because they're family. They say, you might want to take those videos down on that Boss show you're on. I say, you mean Boss Biz Radio? Yeah, whatever it's called. But you're doing all that smoking, and it's just not a good look. I said, wow. My stocks are up. I mean, listen, this is a show for our Stone community and for people who love Sixxcess, love Jezebel, love Boss Biz Radio. If you don't, thank you for the view. Thank you for the view. But
meanwhile, while y'all in here, hit that like and subscribe button. Just let
hit that like and subscribe button, because we gotta we do our job. We do what we do. I don't go down to nobody's little company and tell them how to fold the shirts. You know, I go into Route 21 and I see a whole bunch of shirts all lined up in the wrong place. I don't be like, hey, somebody get over here because you're making this Route 21 look bad. I look at the shirt. If I want it, I buy it. If I don't, I put it back in this place. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, their stocks is going up. You know what I'm saying? I don't like when people keep on trying to, like, and that's why me personally, I would never, ever, because when I first started and I had a deal on the table with Def Jam Records, right? And I worked my ass off for 2 weeks on 5 records to impress these dudes, right? To lock in this deal. And that's why I said this album of Food Getting Rich was me saying to everybody, I don't have to impress you no more. I know what I'm doing. I'm good, right? So because I went in this studio for 2 weeks, I locked myself in. I didn't talk to my kids. I didn't talk to the wife. I was literally working from 3 in the morning till about 1 in the morning. And that hour sound crazy because that's how it went. I would go in the studio every morning at 3, and I didn't leave out the studio until 1 in the morning, locked in, working on these records for them. Only for them to walk into my studio, hear these records, and ask me, you not going to cuss on none of these records? And I'm like, wait.
They wanted you to curse?
What you mean? Yeah, they wanted me to curse. They're like, you're not going to curse on none of these records? You know? And I was like, nah, that's not what I do. You know? They said, well, who you making music for? Kids? I'm like, ho. So
maybe.
No, but even if still, that's the basis of making music for kids, just to not cuss. Because you're going to negate the fact that I'm talking about everything from smoking in my song, everything from hanging with my boys, and everything from anything and everything, just finding a growner way to say it. But you're telling me that this is for kids? Well, hell, I already saw the disconnect there. Right? So
you're not going to
really,
change yourself to appease nobody else, because I mean, for what? You got to stay true to who you are.
Especially when somebody's making it like it's your obligation. That's like can you imagine somebody telling us it's our job to raise their kids? Could they look up to us? I'm like, hold
on, wait now. That was told to me when I was 17, and my response was just like Lil Nas X's. But then I took a step back and I thought about it, and I was like, well, you know what? That kind of does make sense. I was walking on Georgia Avenue. Everybody, I'm from uptown, so I'm walking down Georgia Avenue, and one of the old heads from around my way, he was like, you know, you be dressing like XYZ, you know, all these little girls look up to you, whoopie whoopie. I'm like, that's not my fucking problem. He was like, yeah, it's not your problem, but you're like, they really look up to you. And I was like, I'm not gonna stop dressing the way that I dress. However, you know what I'm saying? I am mindful, you know, of the type of stuff that I do now. Just because, you know, I don't want to steer young girls in the wrong direction.
No, you don't. But you know what little girls really, who they look up to more? Their fathers. No, their daddies. Oh. They look up to their daddies more. And the reality of it is, I can't, like, I like these new socially conscious brothers that we have in this new world that we live in. And it's really amazing to me, right? Because these guys that are so pro female being you know, protected and closed off.
The same was attacking and disrespecting them.
They're the thumb happy guys. Straight up. Be straight up like that. So for me, I look at it, I'm like, all right, you think that how I'm moving is that much of an influence that you feel like you have to say something to me to change it. But where's the influence that you feel like you have? Like, where's your own self? Again, I'm always big. Everybody know I'm big on self-acknowledgement, right? Where's your own self-acknowledgement that maybe I gotta step up and do something. I mean, look, when I heard Lil Nas X say exactly what he said on the Breakfast Club, I was like, wow, right? Because I'm thinking to myself, you know how most artists, you can tell they need a PR rep? Mm-hmm. You can tell he's well PR'd.
Not even that, he's protected by the community.
He's very much so.
That's it. That's all. Let it have been somebody else that said it.
No. It wasn't the
Cardi B say fuck your kid. She didn't say it like that. She was still respectful, like, okay, I'm not raising your kid. It's the parents' job to raise their kid. He's just like, fuck your kid.
You heard what Cardi B said. She said, I won't let my baby hear that music. I won't let my baby hear that music. If you don't like it, don't play it with your baby in the room. Don't play it with him in the room. That's what she said. You know what I'm saying? Like, she's so. But again, she's like 26, married with kids. Nas X is like 21, 20 maybe, not married, young, living his life. It is not, and he backed it up with saying, I'm still living my life. I don't want to look back 10 years from now and saying I didn't do what I wanted to do because I was catering to kids that I don't even know. I've never met.
I mean, the key thing is you're never going to make everybody happy. Like, that's just impossible. Everybody's not going to be okay with what you do, which brings me to my next topic.
My parents didn't stop me from watching Bert and Ernie. That didn't make me out anyway.
What's wrong with Bert and Ernie?
Hey now, what you say now? I'm an all-star. Let's play. Let's go skip the subject there.
I didn't know. I never knew about Ernie and Bert. Like, Oscar was my favorite, and the Cookie Monster. See,
wait, was Oscar the one in the trash can?
Yeah, he was the Grouch. Yeah.
Speaking of Grouchy, like, I was expecting this outfit. I say outfit. I was expecting this day to be a real good day, right? Like, all lit, like everything was gonna be everything. But I was really expecting this weekend to be great because it started off Thursday down at Dingbats. I flew back in town Friday, and I was presented with such a great with such a great presentation in Jersey. I was happy to make my way back to Atlanta, and then my notification went off.
Which notification, Six? Because you get all these calls, you get all these notifications, and like I just said, y'all, you can't make everybody happy. So, are we getting into the meat and potatoes?
My Boss Biz Radio notification went off.
Oh, when I snapped?
No, that was after. That was about. I think that was maybe Saturday when you did that. Maybe Saturday.
It was Friday night because it was Friday night because I had to be cordial, and this is what y'all gonna learn about me today. I'm not a punk, okay? I'm grown as shit. I'm cordial as a motherfucker. So even if I don't like you or if I have a problem with you, I could be in the same room with you. If it's about business or if it's about somebody I care about. So I had to sit at a table with a bitch ass nigga, another bitch ass nigga. Okay, y'all clown ass DMV niggas. I don't know what the fuck it is with y'all. I don't know what it is with y'all. Like y'all just love hating on women. Y'all love picking on women. Like that's in the business. So anyway, I had to sit at a table with this clown for an hour because it was my friend's birthday, and she invited him. And that's not even her friend. So I'm asking her like, why the hell is he here? But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna do this for you, and then I'm going. But I was pissed because I'm like, I just don't fuck with you. Like, don't speak to me. I don't fuck with you. That's how I am. If I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. Don't speak to me. Don't look in my direction or none of that shit. Period. So then, okay, yeah, I thought it was gonna be a good weekend. So Friday, that happened. Saturday, I'm chilling, and then boom, here comes Sunday. Right? How did my Sunday start? With the call, right? A deep, intense call, and then my window gets broken into. So I ain't saying that the person broke into my car because I know it wasn't them, but it's a coincidence that people slinging threats and then all of a sudden my car gets broken into.
Yeah, like you feel like Malcolm X right now.
Man, I'm just sick of people. Okay, now let's talk about this interview. All right, and Face Lova, what's up? I'm gonna give you a shout out because you in here. Let's keep it real. I don't know what the fuck is going on here. Okay, I don't know what the fuck people's issues are, and that has nothing to do with me. Okay, I'm gonna address one person specifically right now.
Don't do it.
I am. I'm gonna address him. Bo, real, speak truth, Jahid, Jihad, whatever your name is. Okay, I had a lot of respect for you. I had a lot of respect for you. Okay, until I'm hearing all this backlash. I had no clue that you guys had an issue with Face Lova. You never called me. You knew that I was interviewing him. You could have gave me a courtesy call if you felt like you didn't want me to mention your name or your team's name in that interview. That's not hard. You DM me all the time. You got my phone number. Okay, you don't need to talk around me, sir. You can talk directly to me because we're both professionals. You're older than me, way older than me. Okay, old enough to be my father. And you're out here mad at me and you have not talked to me yet. You have not called me or DM'd me yet because you're out here trying to stop this man's whatever he got going on. You trying to blackball him or you are blackballing him, but I didn't get the message.
Like the crazy part is,
you could have put away Six. Let me finish. You could have gave me that message. I'm not going to jump on board with that. I don't know. He didn't do nothing personally to me, so I don't know. If you are mad about the way that I asked the questions, then you're just picking at nothing. Okay, you're literally just picking at nothing. All you had to do was send me a DM. I don't have a problem with you or nobody on your team, but when you start talking about canceling me and you don't fuck with me and all types of shit like that, you could have said that to my face because I just seen you on 14th Street. Not too long ago, I seen you. And when I seen you on 14th Street, what did you say? Hey, queen, whoopty whoopty whoop, love is having a release party. You know, come through. We gonna come on your show one day. But lo and behold, somebody that you have a disagreement with comes on my show, and now don't nobody even watch Boss Biz. All this other stuff. Like, where is all of this animosity coming from, sir? When you could have literally just called me. You could have literally just DM'd me and talked to me. Don't talk around me. And don't talk about canceling nobody's business. It's one thing to come at me personally if you don't fuck with me, but don't attack my business because I don't stop nobody's money. I don't get in the way of that stuff. I'm not that type of person. If you do something to me, It's people I don't fuck with. We the Party ENC, I don't fuck with that nigga. But do I ever tell you Sixxcess? Oh no, don't go to his shit. Don't promote him. I don't fuck with Orbit Omen music. Am I like, oh no, Six, fuck them? I'm not that type of person. When I don't fuck with people, I let other people do what they got to do with them. I don't get in the way of that. I got too much going on to be stopping somebody else's grind. Like, that's not in my blood. Why are you so worried about what we got going over here on our show? Like, you're making your artists miss out on opportunities. Their songs ain't in rotation. Speaking of which, I can't even find them. So take your time, send me links to where, or send us links to where we can find your artist music. Because you got too much to be doing right now. How about registering them, getting them on Spotify, getting them on Apple Music? I don't see their music on Instagram. I don't see it nowhere. Are they even getting paid performance royalties? That's what you should be worried about. Not what we got going on over here, sir.
I told everybody
going on over here. So next time you have an issue with me, anybody got an issue with me, DM me or call me. Don't talk around me. Because I'm very professional. I'm not ignorant. I'm not gonna curse you out. I'm gonna listen to what you gotta say. I might not do what you want me to do, but I'm gonna listen. I'm gonna listen to what you have to say, and that's all you had to do, sir. Yeah, that's all you had to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then my car gets broken into. Why you out here slinging threats and shit? Like, for what? I'm a whole female. What you say, queen? Aren't you supposed to be woke? Protect black women? Like, you over here attacking me for what? For what? Man. Because I didn't know you had an issue with somebody? Yeah. Don't get mad at the radio show. Boss up. Like I said, boss up. Come tell your side of the story, sir. Okay? Let your artists get paid royalties from their music getting played on our station, sir. Help your artists benefit off of this, sir. Because all I see you doing is stopping everybody's money.
Hey, now
I had too much coffee because I'm living. Not only to mention my car gets broken into, so I'm pissed about that too. Who the fuck wants to deal with that shit?
Like, it's crazy because we put ourselves in a position to only help people. Everybody, like everybody, and I felt bad that it was like an attack about an interview. I felt even more bad that people were misinterpreting our intentions, right? And I'm like, why do y'all think that we really like walk around in this realm of a world with billions of people in it and think about how to go against whatever or be on whoever's side or be on this
and that? Talk about them Six. Like, no, we don't even, that's not even a conversation. Like, hey, do you know so-so and so is beefing with so-so and so? We don't do that type shit.
And like, even if somebody called me and told me, I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care.
It's right in their business. Like, that's another thing. Like, if somebody tells you something in confidence, it's not your job to wake up, hey, Jezebel, like, did you know so-so and so is going on? No. We get to that when that time comes. Then you tell me, okay, my bad, sis, there was something going on. I'm like, oh, shit. Like,
it's too much goof. It's too, like, honestly, like, it's way too much goofiness going on, right? Let's just get right to the potatoes and the meats. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's been, COVID happened in March 10th,
last year,
2020. They shut the city down. Now, everybody was running around, figuring out, doing whatever. Everybody was making alliances. We get that. Everybody was being in their groups. Everybody was taking care of whatever they call their business. Now, relationships were made. Relationships are made in this industry all day, every day. Relationships change in this industry all day, every day. Like, we put ourselves in a position as Boss Biz Radio, as Jezebel the Truth, and Sixxcess to put a platform out there for artists to make their music matter, right? Make your music matter. Like, start living off of yourself. So honestly, we leave a door open for any and every artist to reach out to us. half the time we get our little app thing go off, and we got all these goddamn artists booked for a whole month, and we sitting up there like, all we know is we got to study them, figure out what their single is, we got to listen to it, we got to read their bio. Do you think that we're about to go through Instagram and ask everybody, hey, who they beefing with? Hey, and listen, let me tell y'all about this DMV thing. Let me tell y'all about this cancel thing, or about this DMV thing. Y'all see right now, the baby was canceled 2 weeks ago, but yet he is on a new record with Lil Wayne. He's just on the Kanye West album, and he's seemingly making his way back around. And now he's actually throwing pie in everyone's face that was on the board of canceling him in the industry. They're actually like really having to pay for it. He's making artists take their records down. He's making artists, pay him out for everything now, and like just straight cashing out. Like he's real out taking it to a whole nother level.
The baby?
Yeah, the baby.
Really? Like people that was against him that did songs with him, he's making them take it down?
Yeah, he wants his verses back.
I know that's right.
So honestly, like that's what happens in this game. Things change, relationships change all the time. But at the end of the day, when you put yourself in a position like I am, I'm neutral. I'm Switzerland. Like I don't have alliances to anything but who has alliances with me. I don't sit up there and sugarcoat anything with anybody. I'm gonna tell y'all like it is, straight up, straight down. Like I don't care who it is. If anybody ever tries to tell me who I can and can't associate or be around, I'm gonna have a problem with it. Because I have friends, like real friends, that may hate each other, but no, when they're around me, that's off. Like, because they know I respect them enough to make sure none of that stuff happens. And if you really love a person or if you really respect a person, you put aside whatever you have with other people to make things work for these people. I mean, I could go on and on about why a lot of shit that I'm saying right now is hilarious to me, right? But I just dropped the album, right? And I'm like, again, they're not paying attention. This is my third album in a year, right? So now I'm like, where are we at right now? And like one of my artists calls me and he says he wants to start putting shows together and doing showcases. He wants to follow in Sixxcess's like, footsteps, do showcases, make a name for himself that way, and step off. And I explained to him, I said, bro, I did that for us already. Like that's like what we don't have to do that no more. Yeah. Like you want to do showcases, we don't have to do that no more. That's just for fun. Like if you got a real relationship with somebody, you do these showcases because that's your relationship. But really, like, come on. We put together concerts, we put together tours, we putting together real shows where people are out to see you. Like I spent 3-4 years of my career making sure that artists had nothing but access to all the information and everything. And a lot of artists will not tell you this, but the few that will tell you that I put myself even after them while showing them how to get set up. Like I'm not one of those type of people that's like, oh, you got people out here that's like, send me $2,500 and I'll make sure you are on everything. Give me $1,000 and I'll make sure that you get in streams and you get in this and you get in that. And I know a lot of people that just pay it because they all want success. They all want it. Like it's like so close that they just know that all they missing is that $2,000 to pay. And I've watched artists give up their last $2,000, their last $1,000, and then 2 months later they crying and complaining. I've watched artists that there's been artists that I've talked to from, and the reason, let me tell y'all why I'm picking with the DMV, because I'm more mad at the DMV because we have beacons. You know what I'm saying? We have beacons of success. We have people that have made it and failed. We have people that have made it and plateaued. We don't have any people that has like reached the #1 status, so we don't have a replica for that. But the excuse that we can't make it when we got people that have given us the blueprint is ridiculous. Now, the fact that I have never been anybody in the DMV's top 50 does not matter to me ever.
Right. There's so many more people in the world. Cancel me from whatever corner you can cancel me from, but bitch, I'm international, okay? Like worldwide, shit moves around.
Like honestly, I look at that idea of cancel and I'm like, that's a powerful word to throw around.
I mean,
communities have the power to cancel. People don't. People can't blackball you. Communities blackball you. You have to offend a community. I'm sorry. You can't expect the world in any industry to move because of your personal vendettas or feelings. Yeah. I mean, hell, if you feel like that, go to your GM or call the owner of your company that you own and tell them you don't like Diane. Tell them you don't like Michael and you want them gone. Tell them you're going to cancel them or you. Tell them that you won't be there because you don't like that. Because at the end of the day, like I said, people look at this music. They don't look at this music. A lot of people look at this music like a hope, a prayer, a hobby. You know what I'm saying? They don't look at it like once you step up there and say, I'm a recording artist, once you step up there and put a record on YouTube, SoundCloud, on your cell phone, y'all don't understand that this cell phone is a recording device that counts as an audio recording. A lot of y'all artists walk around and y'all record y'all freestyles in your phone and you just like, oh, I want to save it for later. But you don't understand what you have just done was record a record, an audio recorder that should be registered. Because whatever happens with that record, whatever happens with it. But you didn't. You just say, I got some records that I recorded, I freestyled on my phone. All right. But you don't understand. For the people that understand this, that's a business. And it's people that look at you like, cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. Or look at you like, oh my goodness, ka-coin, ka-coin, ka-coin. Bankrupt. It's like when you don't get sized up in this industry first by your talent, right? Because at the end of the day, y'all gotta realize you in a room of 50 people. If somebody sees you at a showcase, they saw 50 artists that night. Mm-hmm. And if you really think that you stood out the most, I'm gonna tell you, I hate to bust your bubble. You didn't. You didn't. It wasn't you that made you win that showcase. It was a thing that we call crowd and your crowd and the way they receive it. And the way that everybody receives everything else. It's like, can we invest in this? Can we make money with this? Like I see a lot of artists with a fire song look down at the ground all their performance. I see a lot of artists with fire songs have all their homeboys on stage and never perform for the crowd. I've seen artists stand on stage and have somebody with a cell phone, and I've seen artists perform into that cell phone and not perform at the show. You know, and it's like, me personally, listen, I'm not the guru. On my album, I say, who made me the guru? Because I'm like, who knew? You know? Because I didn't know that I was the guru. I didn't know that everyone is looking up to me now. Because, like I said, I never seen my name on nobody's top list. When those votes going around, I'm not hearing the chance for success. I'm not seeing the shares of my album from these people that are so-called supportive of me, but yet willing to throw me under because they assume affiliations. And even if I am affiliated or not affiliated, you don't know anybody's relationships. Nobody's relationships. And you can't expect the whole industry's relationships to be your relationships because you're going to be missing out on a lot of stuff.
Yep.
On a lot of stuff. Like, there's been, I work with people in all walks. I walked in rooms with atheists. I walked in rooms with homosexuals. I've walked in rooms with people that hate black people. I mean, hell, I've been in a meeting with a man who damn near was making all types of racist comments to me the whole time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he damn near called me a monkey. I mean, one of the most racist meetings I ever had. And he was doing it passively aggressive, like, don't you know you're kind, you know you boys like that. You know how you boys do. You know, that's how he keeps saying it to me. You feel me? You know how y'all do. But I'm just like, after the meeting, you know what happened? He said, now how much I owe you for the service then? I guess I'll do it. Because hey, guess what? I realize you're a racist motherfucker. But at the end of the day, your racism is not what I'm there for. You're a friend. You're like, I'm not there to debate you on race. I'm there to sell you a record. I'm there to sell you some services. I'm there to make you like me. So what if you hate every other black person? I want, at the end of the day, when you say, I hate those niggers, but that their Sixxcess is cool.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I've done my job.
Yeah.
And now if everyone wants to say to me, damn, Sixxcess, you gonna sell out and hang with that man and let him call you all types of niggers and all types of this? No. I'm going to be that example for y'all and everybody because I'm going to be the one that when they say, nah, not all of them act like that. Not all of them don't know the business. You know what I'm saying? Because when they talk about us from the city, they don't talk about us in the great light. It's we don't know the business. We don't know how to move. We don't know how to conduct ourselves. Anything. They wait for us. Listen, when they hear we're from the DMV area, they wait for us to explode. They wait for us to drop the ball. You feel me? They wait for
calls. Is there more calls? Get off the air.
But no, but listen, like they live for it. You know, they live for it. And it's like I had to tell my friends, like they asked me when I get pulled over, I have a certain procedure that I do when I get pulled over. I roll down all my windows and I turn on all my lights inside the car, right? That's daytime or nighttime. I do this procedure. So one day I get pulled over with one of my friends, and he's like, "Why are you doing this hot ass shit?" And I'm like, "Bro, I'm driving. Shut the fuck up, sit down, and watch how things go." You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I mean, off the bucks, the first thing they ask you is license, registration. We already know these things. I'm a black dude. If you think I'm reaching for my license and registration, you got another thing coming. You're going to have to find that in my pocket, officer, when you search me. And for my safety, I'm definitely getting out this car. I want the officer to take me out the car. Like a lot of people ask, why do I do these things? Because if you're going to shoot me, officer, you're damn sure not going to shoot me sitting down in this chair. Mm-hmm. I've gotten tickets. I've gotten pulled over and gotten tickets for driving without a seatbelt when I was supposed to get a speeding ticket. Because that seatbelt comes off, all those windows come down, all them lights come on. And I'm talking to the officer like, I wasn't speeding, sir. Well, you know, for my safety and yours, take me out the car. Let me see your gun. Let me see the reader where I was doing that. Show me where you clocked me at that. Like, and I guess that's what I was doing. But I wasn't looking at my speedometer, and I'm sure I wasn't going that fast. But if you say that's on the gun, then I agree with it, you know. And, you know.
So, hold on right quick before you go on. Do you ask them when they pull you over, what did you pull me over for?
Hell nah. Because I usually already know. Because I already know why they pulled me over.
Do you think majority of people know sometimes?
Listen, when you got this skin color, when we share the same skin color, you know. You listen, I want people to understand I'm a cynical thinker. Right? I'm a cynical thinker because I think street all the time, right? It's like when you walking around the neighborhood, when we used to be young, we used to go around random neighborhoods to see girls and shit, right? And then something to pop off, a fight to pop off, or shots to get fired off, and you get home and everything is all disbobulated, and y'all are like, yeah, you know they know they know what to do. And then somebody asks you like, why y'all was around there fighting? And you like, shoot, man, we don't know. You make up the best stories in the world. You know what I'm saying? The real reason why is because you from a different set. You different. You don't belong around here. So anytime you get approached in any area, it's because you don't belong around here. I mean, listen, half the time that you get pulled over and you don't know why you got pulled over, it's always by a white cop, isn't it? Because when a black, anytime you normally pull up,
no, when I get pulled over, it's usually a black cop.
A black brother, you usually get pulled over.
They're the nastiest to me. I'm not even gonna lie. When I get pulled over by white people, they are extreme. Well, white guys, they're extremely nice. They're like, I actually ran a light. I ran a light, and the officer, he pulled me over. He said, be careful. He was like, do you know why I'm pulling you over? I was like, no. He was like, you just ran that light under the tunnel. He was like, it's a very, very dangerous intersection. He said, I know you didn't see it. I said, yeah, oh my gosh, I would never. I was on the phone. I seen them lights. I just dropped my phone. I think my mother was on the phone. I just dropped the phone on the floor. It was like, no, I don't know what was going on. But he was so nice. He was like, I know you didn't run that light because I was sitting right there. You saw me. I know you didn't. And he just let me go. He said, just be careful, you know. Black cop pulled me over for speeding or whatever. He's like, you didn't see me right there, and where's your license, and turn your music down. He just was nasty. And I was like, it's always the black cops that's nasty.
Yeah, see, that's what I said. Like, that's what in those instances, you knew exactly why you were being pulled over, and that's what I like. I like the ownership in that, because that's powerful, right? A lot of people don't own up when they get pulled over. Like, literally every time that I've been pulled over, it's been literally for something like a screw out of my license plate, or a bug,
the tag
brake light, something dumb, you know. And it's always in someone else's car that I was driving at the time, right? So obviously, like I said, whenever you get pulled over for something you don't know, you know it's because of this. Like, it got nothing to do with it, because you see it every day. You see it every day, you know. So I mean, we gotta stop with
us and the Latinos. Like, I be feeling bad when they get pulled. Like, I don't know, it's not as bad as when we get pulled over, but if you live on this side of Maryland, like, it's mostly them that be getting pulled over, and I'm like, dang.
Exactly. That's what I be trying to say about the whole DMV scene. Like, we gotta stop acting like we don't know why things are happening, and we gotta stop acting like we don't know that things are happening. Like, honestly, I felt amazing getting all them phone calls, even though it was a lot of hate calls, right? It was a lot of hate calls. I even had my artists calling me and like, stay out of it. Life was real.
I'm still confused as to what is it that we're in. Look, if you guys did not, I don't know about you, Sixxcess, but if no one came to me personally and told me something was going on, I'm not assuming shit. So
yeah,
those hate calls is probably feelings that they've been feeling. Obviously, I mean,
I'm just getting to the point where I'm like, man, we gotta focus on real business, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, we got a lot of business that needs to be done, because we have all the blueprints in front of us, and we still making excuses. We still making fake rules. We still making things that don't apply. We still saying things that don't apply. And honestly, it's not just DMV, because I'm seeing like a couple of other states had this same problem. I'm following a guy from Minnesota, my man Willie Green. Cool dude, but a little misguided on the knowledge side. You know what I'm saying? A little misguided on the knowledge side. And I get it, like, you know, we gotta understand something. We are in age brackets, but we don't have to be that age bracket that we in. You know, you don't have to act 50 and 60 and 70 because you're 50, 60, and 70.
But
You can
don't even
still
act 12 either when you're 50 something.
no, you can't act 12. You gotta get yourself what we call, I think that the youngers are still calling it hip. You gotta get hip. You gotta stay hip. You gotta stay on point with what's happening. You gotta stay with culture. You know what I'm saying? Like that's we use the culture, but a lot of people have forgotten the culture. I said it in the beginning of the show. Everyone forgot. This is like high school. Everyone took to those I can't wait till I'm grown people. And they all grown up and matured so fast that they forgot like how to grow, how to learn, how to be compassionate, how to be fair, you know, how to be reasonable, how to walk in the same halls because you have to. You know, I mean, listen, I hated half the people I went to school with. And if there was a good day with no type of administration around, I would get a good fight in. You know. But come on. I still had to come to school after my 5-day suspension was up. I still had to do it because I wanted the ultimate goal of graduating. I wanted that diploma. So like we got to put all these differences aside and these personal things aside because honestly, those things don't apply in the business world. Like if we can't get money together because of your personal decisions, just don't stop me from getting my money. And don't complain when I get my money and or more than you. Because I'm not gonna complain. That's it. We grown people. We grown. Yeah. You know? Now, Jezebel, I'm not gonna hold you. Everything was amazing because like Tony's thinking that you need a WWE theme song now.
No, y'all. I don't really like.
We gotta get a song.
I don't like snapping. People be having me all the way fucked up.
Now,
like,
I'm working on a rock song. I'm working on a rock song for the thing.
Yeah, no. People really will. I'm gonna tell y'all one thing. This music industry is it's tough. Like I tell my mom everything that I do, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, all that drama and radio." I'm like, you see, Wendy Williams be having issues, like, but I'm not messy. Like I'm not intentionally messy. If I come across as messy, like then I don't know. Like you're taking it personally, but I don't really do that. I'm not about that life. Like I don't do that shit. So like when I do speak up, it's because you pushed me to that point. You had me fucked up. Honestly.
Like I always say, Jezebel, you gonna get the story. I met you. Get in the story. Giving the best interviews. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on, let me just add this part. Y'all lucky I edited the fuck out that shit, okay? And Face Lova, you know, I cut a lot of shit out. So if I wanted to really be messy to you guys, and I had some type of underlining intention, then I would have put everything out. Everything that was said. Everybody knows that was at that interview that day that we calmed it all the fucking way down. And I had no clue it was a beat. So, or a disagreement or whatever you guys call it. But we definitely toned it down because I'm not messy. So feel however you want to feel, sir. I do appreciate y'all for coming to our showcase last year. However, if you don't want to support Boss Biz Radio, you don't have to. Your artist music will be removed from my playlist. Definitely, all of them.
You remember?
So thanks for hurting your artist, sir.
You remember that one interview that you did that I didn't agree with? That one interview you did with that one artist that I won't name that tried to throw me in under the bus too, and I didn't like that.
You talking about my first interview ever?
Yes. Maybe.
You know, that's the group. That's how I met that group, through that person.
Yeah. So like, and
showing the same characteristics.
Yeah, like I said, like. That was. I didn't hate you then. I wasn't all screaming, you know. And look, that interview was spicy.
It was juicy. Hey y'all, it's still on YouTube. It's still on my page. If y'all want to know, It's still up there. I ain't take that shit down.
Listen, that was crazy because like that was a real situation.
A real situation. And even with that, that's how you know maturity. Even with that, I still was able to be around the person we were talking about whenever I came to support you. I had no problems. That wasn't a beef that I took deep down to the core to where I was like, oh no, I can't be around this person. No, like I told that person,
we wasn't at no cookouts. We wasn't at no cookouts or birthday bashes, but yeah.
I told that person, hey, look, what you did, I think it's fucked up, but you didn't do it to me, bro. Like, I could be in the same room with you. You know what I'm saying? And that's how it should be in the business industry. Like, if you have a personal issue with somebody, let that just be your but don't expect people around you to fuck up their business because of your personal dispute.
And like honestly, like everybody know I'm not gonna say anybody because a lot of people did my show. You know, did my shows, DC live shows, did my Sixxcess shows. A lot of people, but people know, like there's certain artists that know their place in my heart, you know, and where they are with me. And I don't want people to think that, yes, our status have changed. Yes, our status has risen. Yes, we work hard, but we still love y'all. We just have a job to do. And our job and our obligation is always going to be what it was when we first started it. I mean, we could easily get on this show and talk just like this every week and never interview any artist. Jezebel can get on Fridays and have her artists come on there and freestyle and show their music and showcase their talents and things like that. But guess what? Or not. Because we're going to still do our thing because people are paying attention and expect for us to do our job and as Boss Biz and keep them lit, tell them what's going on, help them get paid, help their life elevate. And every single artist that is listening, there are reasons why I do this. Because the inboxes that I get telling me that, yo, I learned a lot from this show. The inbox that I get after the show, like, oh, so I can go and do this. I didn't know. You know, I got a call from fucking Sicily, Italy, telling me, bro, if I would have never watched your show, I would have never known that I was supposed to be getting paid out here. You know? And I'm like, dang, bro, that's what I'm here for. You know? So we gotta understand something, like our obligation is to help artists get on and get what they can get. Because see, like, you know what a lot of problem is, people don't know where people come from and what people are about and don't really pay attention in the whole spectrum of things. You know, I mean, I wonder how many people. I can't wait to see my numbers tomorrow for today's morning show, because I was nervous doing my first morning show. Mm-hmm. You know, and it's like it's different than the Saturday show. Because you know, the Saturday show is just all about turning up. You know, yeah. But Monday is more like breaking. The morning show is more about headlines and, you know, breaking the stories and things like that, and trying to break records and stuff like that. But when I started, like the first hour, I was nervous because, you know, it's like, this is big. Like, I know a lot of listeners are listening to this show. And then after a while, I'm like, but they already like me.
Yeah.
You know, like, what am I doing? I'm like, my job isn't to overthink it anymore. Like I said, with a fool getting rich, I really want to like show everybody that I'm out of my shell. You know, like there's a huge shell that we get in as small market artists. This market puts us in it, right? The small market puts us in the shell, and we get afraid to break out of it. Let me explain to you how these shells happen for everyone that's not hip to being put in the shell. You go to your first show in the city, you sound like you. And I'm not talking about the DMV. I'm talking about any small market city. You go to your first show in that city, even if you travel miles and miles to get there, you sound like you. You have an original sound. You have a whole game plan. Now, the thing is, most of these venues in small markets, they sound like them. If you go to them on a Sixxcess night, Sixxcess has already booked all his artists and all his people that are regulars. You go to a Jezebel show, she's already got all her regulars. So now you're coming to our show and you want to be on our networks. You want to be on our market. You want to move with us. So now you come back the second show, not to be yourself now, but to be what you saw we booked, and to be what you saw we liked. But you didn't understand that we liked them because they've been here for the past 5 weeks, or the past 3 weeks, or the past 2 months. So now we all have a relationship, and you get caught up in that. And what you do, you run home and you change your whole sound, and you don't think it's right. So now you're trying to perfect this new sound that you done seeing everybody hugging up and loving because you're in a small market. None of them is ever going to tell you that your music is good or that you're right, and that's not because they hate on you. It's because they don't have time to. Already obligated to their friends, so you've already conformed to them. So now that circle thinks that you want to be them. Now you're in the shell, because even if you get in that circle, what they gonna want you to do? Open up for them all the time, like you're the opening act in the showcase. Like, look, you go first, and then I'm gonna go. Like, what? Nigga, you're not setting up your concert here. We both got 2 songs apiece. I want to go deaf. You can go if you want to. Yeah. But nah, they in there treating you like you're a rookie. You go fourth, and I go fifth. And we're gonna kill it like that. I ain't gonna come up there when you performing, but when I come up, you make sure you stay on stage so we look lit. Or they want to stay on stage with you. They want to do songs with you because you don't mind, because you so pressed to get in that network because you're stuck in the shell. You let them do records with you. Now y'all performing all of their records together, and they're performing their solo hits that you fell in love with that you didn't already change your style for. You're in a shell. It happens in a small market because you guys get clicked up, and you guys get afraid to travel. You get afraid to go and be the new kid one more time. You're like, damn, I don't want to go to this new club, and then I gotta know them. Then you feel like you're obligated because they let you on stage, but it's 5 other spots doing something on Thursday night, but you stuck there every Thursday night because you feel obligated because they finally let you on stage. Well, congratulations, you're in the shell. This game is like this game is not too far off from school. You see how it happens.
I mean, yeah, all around the board, the way that it relates to each other, yeah, definitely.
If you're willing to, I mean, look at all those movies that show the cool kid. Like when you used to watch those high school movies, the new kid, before he get cool, he have to like do something weird at the end of the movie, like put on his old clothes and find that old song that he used to like and run down the neighborhood playing his old music, and he being himself again, and everyone's like, he's like, he's a geek for real. Like, oh, now we really like the geek. Now he's the most popular person, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because he stopped conforming. He showed them why my parents moved me around here. So I'm a badass. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no.
We gotta step up to our place. I mean, everybody that we admire stepped up to the plate. No one admires somebody that didn't step up to the plate. I want to meet the person that says, my hero is my uncle who said he was going to go to the NFL, went to try out and quit and didn't do anything, and then he came home and just became a cool OG chilling, and now we just sit in his house all day. He's my hero. No one ever says that. They're going to look at his uncle and say, Uncle, Russell Wilson, Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, those are my heroes, huh? I know you play football, but damn, like I want to play ball like Pat. Can you teach me how to throw like Patrick Mahomes? You know, they don't care about what you used to do. Like no one does. No one does. It's not hate to say that. You know what I'm saying? It's not hate to say that. People respect the person that doesn't quit. That's why the little engine that could is a great story. Because even though he knew he couldn't get up that hill, and even at the end someone helped him, he still eventually got over that hill with help and understanding that I gotta try it every day. You know what I'm saying? And nothing else matters. People respect those people that don't give up and stay diligent, stay persistent, and stay rooted to your grounds. I already told y'all the word loyalty does not exist. That is a fake made up word, just like the word time.
I asked artist that the other day, and I think loyalty it only exists in the street. So I was thinking about this the other day.
That's the worst place.
I was like, my street mentality, and the music industry is kind of like coming like this right now because I don't fuck with fake shit. Like I can't do if I don't fuck with you, I don't fuck with you. And also, once I stop fucking with certain people, I usually, if you introduce me to anybody, I don't associate myself with those people unless me and that person build a connection. So I still have morals. And instead of saying loyalty, I think it should be that we should use the word moral. And are you loyal instead of being loyal to people, be loyal to causes, be loyal to certain things that you just won't be for. You just not for it. And I think that's okay. I don't think you should. I mean, it's okay to be, free spirit, do whatever you want to do. But I think at some point you still have to be grounded and have morals. You can't just. I don't believe in people moving any type of way. And if you do, that's okay. That's your choice. Me personally, I think that's where my issues are coming in because it's like, all right, I have a disagreement with you. That's fine. But when it comes to a point of people attacking me and shit, then now I don't fuck with you. So now I'm not gonna fuck with you or anybody that I've met through you. Period. That's
Let's stick with the high school thing, right, Jezebel? Mm-hmm. Let's stick with it. Like people that are associated around people that are, they levitate to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter what we think of. At the end of the day, a disloyal person is never going to be comfortable around a bunch of loyal people. So the idea of loyalty doesn't have to exist because the idea of association is what's more likely to happen in this world. Like, we're levitating to people that associate with us. And once people stop associating with us, they lose connection. Once they lose connection, anything is liable to happen in between that. Yeah. I mean, it's any type of current thing that needs to be charged. In life, we all need to be charged. We're going to look for a plug source when we become unplugged. And if you are no longer that wall unit right there when it's time to be plugged in, it's not the problem that that whatever device needs to be plugged in has moved into another building, whether it be for greater or for worse. You're just not in the building no more. And if we are not elevating together, then guess what? You can't give me energy. You can't give me power. So it's all association. You see what I'm saying? People that elevate will be around people that elevate. People who don't want to elevate will always fall down to the bottom. People that want to be in sports, they're going to always be around people that want to be in sports. You're not going to find a bunch of alcoholics hanging around a bunch of weed heads. They're just not going to hang together. It's like, you want to drink all day? Roll up a blunt. You want to smoke all day?
That's if you don't drink. Like, you're the soul stoner and don't drink. But I have a lot of friends that don't. I have a few friends that don't smoke weed and they just simply drink. But we used to hang together like all the time. They ain't smoke weed at all. Actually, my best friend right now don't smoke weed no more.
Yeah, she quit.
Hey, shout out to Sammy Sosa.
Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, Sammy Sosa. That's my homegirl. That's my best friend, Sammy.
Oh, sweet. So she quit smoking?
Yeah, she quit smoking years
How
ago.
long has it been? How
Probably
long?
over 10 years, I believe.
Over 10 years.
Because I remember when we was smoking together, I was like 17. We was like 17, and I haven't smoked with her since I was probably 20 or 21.
See, that don't count because y'all best friends, childhood friends. You
Mm.
cheating. You stay cheating. You been cheating a lot today. You been cheating a lot today, but that don't count because childhood friends.
No, you're right. I mean,
This is why when people ask me to come to like places like Red Lounge, right? I be like, go to Red Lounge. Can't smoke in there. Why I'm gonna go somewhere I got smoke outside?
I didn't even think about that. You can't smoke in there.
And then I'm like, come on, I'm at this club. You know what I'm saying? I'm at this club. They let me smoke all day. And I'm gonna go over there. Well, y'all drinkers in there.
Their wings are okay though, but I guess I can't go to Red Lounge no more, huh?
Nah, man. What you mean? What you mean? Nah, they don't care about that stuff, man. Like, you cancel. You cancel, but not like Boss Biz cancel. But I think you good. I think you good.
They got some good wings, though. I will tell you that.
Nah, but like honestly, like all jokes aside, I gotta stop trolling like that because I don't really like it. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't like it. I just don't like people trying to tell other people how to move and dictate how people move. And like honestly, I get anybody resolves. I get if you don't want to be around somebody. I get if you need your own space. But that's why, like I said, there's 5 different shows on a Thursday night. 5 different locations, 5 different venues. There's 5 different shows on a Friday, 5 different shows on a Saturday. Everybody needs to be doing their own thing. And everybody needs to be moving in one accord to really make the DMV look better. Because honestly, we're looking real crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like all these little markets that's doing all these little like senseless murders and shit like that, guys, and like making the value of your neighborhoods go down while trying to raise the stock of your rap value is trifling.
So let me share something with you. So basically this guy insulted me on Instagram because I'm sorry, hey young, I've been I guess I'm you're rubbing off on me a little bit. So this guy he posts Mark Chopper, shout out to Mark Chopper. He does like protect movement or whatever. So he posted a screenshot of the screen and it said there's been a spike in legal gun permits, right? So no disrespect to Mark Chopper. Like I really respect.
Yeah, please, no disrespect to Mark Chopper.
Yeah, no. I did not disrespect him in this post. I let him know it's no shade towards you, baby. I really respect what you're doing for the community. However, sir, there's also been a spike in kids killings, right? So this other guy comes in there and he's like, you just sound stupid and you're dumb passing on misinformation and blah, 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 blah. He's like, no one with a legal carrying permit is out here killing kids. So I responded to him. I said, and how would you know? It's not like the news is going to say Joe Blow had a legal gun permit. They're not going to fucking say it. So anyway, we was just going back and forth. But like it's true. Yes, there's a lot of people that have gun permits now. And why is that spike incongruent with the spike in the kids being killed?
Exactly.
You know, understand that's facts. No, like I'm not lying.
Because at the end of the day, having a gun permit does not mean anything except people now have gun permits. It's just like driver's license, right?
Yeah.
Since the police know that driver's licenses are allowed and everyone should have a driver's license to drive a car, when they see you driving a car, they automatically assume you have a license. Correct? Right. So, or they would just stop everyone and say, "Where your license?" As soon as you get in the car, where your license, right? So, when you were talking about you were making an exact point. Yes, the fact that they are more legal, the fact that it is legal now to carry guns and have a licensed firearm in the city is the reason why there's a spike in all the killings, not just the kid killings, but is the exact reason why. Because when a cop sees a person with a gun, unfortunately, what he would used to do 3 years ago, he can't do now. The assumption is he's legal, he's a legal citizen, let him go. Let him walk. All the while, this person could be on his way to do the most brutalest bullshit known to man. Because at the end of the day, the assumption is there. So we gotta stop with people gotta stop with the naiveness. That's why I fight so hard about weed and the right for it to be legal on all levels. Because for you to tell people in certain states it's recreational, in certain states it's legal fully, in certain states it's only medical, certain states you can't have it. But yet this is United States of America.
And
Everyone is supposed to be fucking united, but yet I gotta step across state lines and hit my J so I don't go to jail. Be comfortable. And then yet, if I'm from a place, visiting a place, I'm subjected to your laws and I'm not from here, I can't enjoy my laws. It's like crazy. You know, it's a universal backlash that gets passed around. I find it hypocritical in the system. You know, but when you're dealing with anybody that's an activist for something, and like people become unrealistic when they become activists. You know what I'm saying? Like when you become an activist, you're just straight up acting on it. Like you don't care what the reality of it is. You're acting on the mission, and you're gonna become blindsided to the reality of stats and numbers. And the reason why these numbers are put out there, because these numbers are put out there to go against whatever agenda is being pushed. I mean, shoot, let's just be quite frankly, let's be real. The minute that they legalize weed in the DMV, they also raise up the minimum wage, but yet they don't take drug testing off the table.
Yeah.
So it's like, what's happening?
Well, Mark Trumpet, he responded, and he wasn't disrespectful. He was very sweet. He was like, yeah, there's a spike in kids killing as well, but I don't think these come from people that have a legal conceal and carry license. And I just told him, it just seems like it's just never going to stop. Like he could have cursed me out, but it was some ignorant motherfucker from somewhere else, and I was having fun with it.
He wanted my chopper to see it. My chopper is hero.
And I just was I had time today, y'all. Y'all see I had time. I was posting all fuck. I had time today.
Hey, Jezebel, we got rules now. You can't go trolling on my chopper's page. That's dangerous.
I figured, I was like, man, the motherfucker's gonna be cussing me out. But I was surprised it was just one person that had something to say. Girl, I be trolling on DMV husband. Anybody. Like I'm starting to have fun. I didn't understand, because it's not really trolling. My views are completely opposite from a lot of people. That's probably why I don't speak up as much.
Look, to the troll like Jezebel.
Now I'm speaking up. Like people get upset. Like they just they just be arguing. Like they be going
like this artist said to me yesterday, right? Now, I know it was yesterday because I was doing promo on my album, and he was like, yo, bro, check out this record. And I was like, no disrespect. So respectfully, this record is trash, bro. And he's like, oh, obviously not. People are already mimicking my song. And I'm like, bro, I don't give a damn. This is a trash record. I said, if you believe in this record so much, you should really go back to the studio. You should re-record it. You should get them to mix it. You should get them to master it and take it off SoundCloud. If you really believe in it, don't send me a SoundCloud link. And then when I click on Spotify or something like that, it's not there for the world to hear. I mean, so don't do that to me. And don't text me my opinion.
When you stop, let's address that, okay? How are artists getting fully paid their royalties if you're only streaming on one platform? Like if you're streaming on Apple, how are you getting your Spotify stream? If you're only streaming, if you only put your stuff on Spotify, how are you getting those Apple streams?
Well, it's simple. You're not.
I I mean, so it's important if y'all listening out there, if anybody's listening, any of you artists, it's important to make sure that your music are on all of these platforms because everybody don't have Apple. Like that is my pet peeve. I have an iPhone, y'all. I have a whole iPhone with a T on it. My name begins with a T. Make sure I know. I have an iPhone, but I don't use Apple Music. I use Spotify. So it's like if you say you send me an Apple Music link, the first thing I'm going to do is look for you on Spotify. If I don't see you, then on to the next.
He's supposed to send 2 links, or you make a hyperlink for all of your links. But y'all know these things, man. Y'all not crazy anymore. Y'all not little butterflies. Y'all not little doves anymore. Y'all are big birds now. Y'all can fly. Y'all not babies.
If you want to maximize you're getting paid off of your streams, then you need to place your music on all platforms. Please, I'm asking you artists to do that. Because it's annoying Googling you guys, trying to figure out where your music is and blah, blah. And a lot of you guys only put one link in your profile. Like you should have a link tree. If you are an artist, you should have a link tree or something like that. Something that tells us, or in your, what are those, highlights? A lot of people put where you can find their music in their highlights. Like this is just to maximize the ability for people to find your music.
And like I'm gonna tell you, artists, something that I did debate with another guy about that said similar to what Jezebel said. I get exclusivity, right? Because if you're running an exclusive campaign, then that's understandable, artists. But that should not be an excuse for why you can't be searched. Now, if you're running an exclusive campaign, you're supposed to be real live still promoting and marketing that exclusive campaign. That's like what I mean by an exclusive campaign. Some artists may say, I want to exclusively drop through Apple Music, you know? And for the love of God, those are really only artists that really have contracts with Apple Music. You know, so that may be Apple Music may get it first 3 days early or 4 days early, or maybe in some cases a week early. And then the rest of the platforms will be able to have access to it. Now, some artists like Beyonce, Jay-Z, they do exclusively Tidal, you know, because they're forcing their fan base to their platform. They own it. Again, that's the key word. They own it. A lot of you guys get your website set up. If you want to do exclusives, sell your album through exclusively your website. Build your own website, artist.com, and exclusively sell your album through it. Speaking of that,
don't judge me, but I love your website, and I just went on it the other day. I've known you forever, but I actually went on your website, and I was like, oh my God, like, oh my, your bio, okay.
Yep. Yeah.
Like, so artists, it's also important to have bios because a lot of people don't know where you're from, where they don't know your story. And honestly, someone like me that don't have time, I'm not going to go back to your first album and listen all day just to figure out who the fuck you are. Excuse my French. I need to cut back on the cursing, y'all, but today's been a rough day. But yeah, so definitely, you know, just put something in there. Artists from Alabama, you know, or something, you know.
It's good. You have a whole life. Put it in there. Not a whole life, but you know what makes you relevant, what you like.
Now YouTube as well. A lot of people put their music on YouTube and put it nowhere else. Me personally, I'm not an artist, so I don't understand that deal. Sixxcess, could you shed a little light on that?
A lot of people believe in this YouTube check, right? And the YouTube check is very much so real, right? Now, a lot of these people that are chasing these YouTube checks, I gotta tell you, if you have over 1,000 subscribers and you got your 4,000 watch hours, things like that, you can be monetized. You are eligible for monetization. Now, I don't know what you need to live off. I mean, some people I know $800 a month can take care of them for, you know, take care of them for the month. Some people don't say $1,000 a month can take care of them for the month. Whatever can take care of you for the month, $100, $200, whatever. The thing is, you gotta still have all these channels and avenues taken care of. A lot of y'all don't understand the power of having a pub admin. You need a pub administrator in order to be getting your YouTube royalties. Now, every once in a while, YouTube sends me a little check in the mail. I'm not gonna cap, you know what I'm saying? And the first time I got one of these YouTube checks, I was like, YouTube. I ripped it open and it was like $20, you know? And I think maybe at that time I had like 100,000 streams all together, they said, or something like that. So I was like, okay, this is bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever. So then over time, of course, because you start it just keeps happening every month. You get a check from YouTube. And eventually you realize, damn, they send me $20 every month. You know, it's like, okay, whatever. There's big YouTubers that really make a lot of money, but a lot of people, I'm not even about to go into it in these 15 minutes or 5 minutes to tell y'all about what is really happening behind the scenes for these big major YouTubers that y'all love and that y'all are watching. But in short, there's a lot of work behind the scenes that go into making these videos and these people important. Metadata, trending stuff, topics, analytics. And if you don't understand these things, then you already playing in the loser's game. And you honestly, if you want to start getting paid off YouTube, you don't have to pay somebody to, run your YouTube, but you need to hire somebody that knows how to run YouTube. Like, usually that's a kid or somebody that's already doing it, you know what I'm saying? But you have to know the rules of YouTube in order to get paid from that. And a lot of people are not following the rules of YouTube.
So should they still just keep it on YouTube, or is it advisable to once again put your music everywhere?
I honestly don't think that keeping your music on one platform is smart in any type of form.
I just told you that.
I don't care if it's a mixtape. I don't care if it's a single. I think if you're gonna drop your album, if you're gonna drop a single that you may not have covered or cleared on SoundCloud, then you also might as well drop it on DatPiff. You also might as well drop it on Spinrilla. You might as well also try to get it put on my mixtapes. I mean, these are all things that you have to just try to do since you're going that mixtape route, and then YouTube. Now, if you're going an album, an EP feel, or something that you know that you need to start making money off of, usually something that you own, something that you put money into making, you should be planning on making money back from it. And that's going on all platforms from whatever distributor you choose to use. Now, there's no wrong distributor that you can use. You can use whatever one you use. You won't believe who finally sent me a check.
Who?
United Masters.
Oh, wow. What do you mean, finally? And how did you get it?
That's the same thing I said. So I was driving Saturday, and my PayPal went off. And I was like, interesting, PayPal. And it gave me my business readout, and it said, United Masters invoice is now ready, paid, and sent. I said, invoice was paid and sent by United Masters. So immediately, because I was driving, I pulled over and opened it. And I said, these sons of bitches, look at this. Would you look at this? Only 2 years later, they paid out. Now I ain't gonna tell y'all that. I think maybe they seen my show here. I think they've been watching it just because they kicked me out. United Masters kicked me out. They kicked me off the set. They kicked me out. They kicked me out of United Masters, y'all. I've been booted out. They said the riddance to you, bum. And they wrote me a check for all of my streams and things like that. They cashed me out, and I'm happy enough to say, guys, I did receive my money from United Masters. Anyone thinking about joining United Masters, don't do it. Don't. 2 years, shit, I don't know. But, unfortunately, Jezebel, it is that time.
Ooh.
You know what time it is. we really got to get a real good theme song for this Huffington Post, because this week's Huffington Post is it's troubling to me. I didn't want to have to report this. I didn't want to have to be the one to do. I love this area. I love this guy. I love his whole aura. I love his family. I'm going to still very much so go and see him every week. I am still going to see him as much as possible. I just won't buy bud from him anymore. He's actually made it onto the list of completely banned. Now,
what do you mean completely banned? Like,
he's gonna have to come back with something powerful. He's not gonna only have to come back with something powerful, but he's gonna have to also spark me up in a session in order for me to believe it. All right, y'all. So this week's Huffington Post. Huff, 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 huff. Too much huff. Had enough. Don't want that stuff. Enough is enough. I had a good friend of mine, and I see him a lot. You know, I see him all the time. And you would think with a name like where he lives in this city, where he stays, everything would be great. The city's name is Fairburn. Well,
where the fuck? I mean, where the
when I think about Fairburn, when I was thinking of Fairburn, I'm like, with a name like Fairburn, it's only fair that I burn one, maybe two, maybe three. So sure, I'll pull up in Fairburn and burn a few with you, my guy, and I'll buy me a Vic. Why don't I? And I bought that Vic, and I rolled up, and I sparked it. And I asked, what is this? And I was told that it was a name, and I knew that it wasn't that name. Now, usually I let a person tell me the names, but when I know it's not that name, and I can sense that you're just telling me that it's that name, I'm like, okay, cool. We smoked the whole 7, and I got to myself, I got home, and I was like, you know what? I need to get some more trees, and I am kind of high, but I don't know if I'm high from smoking almost a whole half an ounce or if I'm just high because the weed was good. So I had to bring in reserves on this, because I called one of my other guys, you know, and I told you guys Flint is banned for how many? 2 weeks. They got one more week on the ban list. I went up downtown and they was like, ugh. They was doing some bad things. They had some huff up there too, guys, but they're not gonna make the report yet. They got one more week. And I went on here and made the call. I said, look, I know I just left, but can you bring me some like za? Because that's what they call it down here when it's good. Like, it's called za. I realized that I told y'all you can't say gas. You can't say trees. You gotta say this word za. And now, when I get to the end of the story, I'm gonna tell y'all what it is now, because this is why Fairburn won't be getting another Fairburn from me. But I get to this dang situation, and I'm like, all right, bring it on over. And I'm like, okay, I get it. And I'm like, okay. And I bring in the reserves, which is the wife. I'm like, come on down. We got to try this. Tell me what you think. Horrible. Horrible. So not only now do I have this horrible another quarter, which is a 7, I'm thinking to myself, I done really fucked up, because I called all these other people that I was thinking was going to hook me up or have some good stuff. I only called them because no one answered their phone. And now someone with some good stuff has called me. So now I got to go back out and buy some more, because this is just horrible. I mean, horrible. And I make my way up. I get some more, and I come back, and I'm trying to mix it. I'm trying to mix it this horrible. I end up just like, you know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. Bro, I started rolling up this, like, you know how you know it's nasty when you start rolling up pencil J's, you know, just trying to get it down. You know, just trying to get it down. So I had to call my man back. I said, man, like, yo, like, you got to get something better than this. He said, oh, you want some Zaza? I said, well, what the fuck is Zaza? He said,
oh, so it's not za, it's Zaza.
I said, well, you just gave me some za. What the fuck is Zaza? Well, I don't got no Zaza right now. What the fuck is Zaza? So currently right now, guys, because Zaza is something new in Fairburn, they just took it up a level. And then Zaza is apparently their Huff. They got the Huffington Post, and they are officially banned. I will not be getting any more from Fairburn. They didn't give me a fair burn. They actually gave me a burn. They burnt me. They burnt me up there. They treated me like a trick. They treated me like a lick. That's what they did. And it was embarrassing because I was on a tour bus at the time.
Mhm.
And you know it's bad when they be like, you know what? Let's just not smoke. So thank you for embarrassing me on the tour bus. And thank you for,
They said, let's just not
everyone
smoke.
mad at me. Thank you for guaranteeing me that it smokes and it didn't smoke. Now I get it now, and that is this week's Huffington Post. Fairburn, you are on the ban list until you spot me up, and it's, I guess, out the Zaza.
The Zaza. So you
Yeah.
can't ask for Zaza no more. You got to ask for Zaza. What is it with the South having some trash ass weed? When I
I think
lived in Florida, I lived in Tampa. And like I could never like when I did find good weed, it was like of course medicinal and I don't know if it's
I
supposed to
told you.
be CBD. It's why.
Florida's weed scene is dead to me. Like honestly, if I ever whenever I go to Florida, I will be driving and I will be surviving on my own supplies. Like honestly, when I go to Florida, I'm going to take more than I need because that's just it. Florida is off the list. It's like it didn't just start with me. What y'all did down there to Summer Walker when she went down there, I ain't gonna forget.
Hold on. Wait, they sold her oregano?
They sold her oregano. Oregano.
That happened to me in Vegas.
They did that to another artist, not just Summer Walker. I think they tried to get one of the Real Housewives like that. I was watching Jocelyn Hernandez Cabaret, and they got the girls down there at the cabaret like that with some dirty weed. So you know what? I'm like, they don't care if there's a camera around. They don't care if there's the man around. I think they would sell Jesus some dirty weed down there in Florida. And then I see him trying to sell Duval the dirty weed out of the McDonald's when he was down in Florida a couple of days ago. Right outside
he's from Jacksonville. So
yeah,
he should know where this shit at.
Jacksonville, Huffville. Oh, Huffville. That's so Huffville. Yeah.
Hell no.
So what you got going on, Jezebel? What you got coming up this week? Any bombshell interviews this week?
No, unfortunately, because of this car situation, guys, I'm just going to take some time to focus on getting my shit together. So Friday, I will not be doing a Fridays. However, I am still doing my Wednesday lunch hour show. So make sure you guys tune in from 12 to 1 on Wednesdays.
Just call Safe Flight. Just call Safe Flight.
They called me this morning. And I'm not paying my deductible. So because my deductible is higher than what the window's gonna cost.
What window they bust out?
The passenger side on my Benz, the front passenger.
You niggas bust out the Benz window.
Yeah, unfortunately.
You disloyal. I'm putting out papers on all you motherfuckers out Pelican Bay.
So you guys, I'm just gonna I'm gonna take that money and just go ahead and do that. But also, guys, artists, if you guys are listening, be sure to send us your music so that we can review it if you want it on the live 365 Boss Biz radio show. Also,
Only good
I would
music.
need, huh?
Only good music.
Only, well, I mean, send us. We're gonna determine if it's deemed worthy. So also, what was I about to say? Also, if you've been on the Boss Biz radio show and you've done an interview with us and we have your music, it should be already on there. I'm also doing a special for you guys. So for 30 days, send me one track and we'll give you spins on the radio show. If you've already been interviewed on the Boss Biz radio show. If you have not,
Hell yeah.
get your damn interviews, okay? We support those who support us. And that's that.
And that's always gonna be. And that's always gonna be like
Now
y'all already know in the morning, tune in to Hip Hop
in
95.
the morning. What you said is midnight. I thought it was midnight.
Not in the morning. I do 10 to 2 now on Hip Hop 95.
10 a.m. to 2 p.m.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, I ain't going the nights. I can't do the nights. That's my weed hours. In the morning, I'm trying to. So I say I like to do these 10 to 2 hours because it's 7 a.m. over there in Cali. So you know, I'm waking them up, getting them lit on the road. I got some listeners out in Seattle. You know, we getting them lit. We have Vegas, Wichita, Kansas. So like the listeners is going crazy. So like everybody that's sharing my flyers for my radio show, that's lit. I appreciate everybody. But yeah, that's now 10 to 2. That's the morning show. Every morning, 10 to 2. So
every morning?
Yeah, except Sundays. I'm off like Chick-fil-A on Sundays. I'm closed like Chick-fil-A.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you.
Talk every day, y'all.
I already talk every day. I talk all day, every day now. So like now you get to hear me talking, saying crazy stuff, saying cool stuff, dropping knowledge, sharing music, everything. Of course, my album did drop today.
Go ahead and stream that, y'all. Run them streams up.
Already. Keep running it up, man. Keep running it up. Leave me some comments. Tell me what your best song is, what your favorite song is, which I like, which I didn't like. Actually, keep what y'all didn't like to yourself, because I don't care. But tell me what you like. I love it. I want to hear that stuff. And y'all know, if you don't know, hit that like and subscribe button that is somewhere down there. Leave us a comment. I know this show got a little wild, but that's because it was just you know the conductors were definitely, you know, we had to make sure we address these things because we didn't want it to grow like wildfires. And I didn't want it to go like a wildfire. And I like to address things head on. I got my hair recolored, so I'm feeling really, really rejuvenated and refreshed. I'm on full Goku mode. And yeah, man, like don't have any shows coming up besides the radio show, besides members only Wednesdays. If you're in Atlanta, pull up the members only on Wednesday. That's 10 o'clock. If you get there before 11, you can get in for free. You get there after 11, it's going to cost you a dub. If you get anything after 12, 1 o'clock, I don't know what they're going to tax you at the door. It's on you, all right? That is 2 Chainz Club members only. That is lit. And then, of course, Ghost Bar Tuesday. How did I forget that?
Edgewood. I love
Ghost Bar. Yeah, so, yeah, that is on Edgewood. So I'm actually trying to work with them on giving me my own show, the headline one night on this tour. So y'all keep on looking out for the Sixxcess tour because I'm gonna be dropping some shows. I'm coming to everybody's city soon.
Come back home.
So when I'm talking to my security, I'm coordinated with my security now because when I come back home, I keep my security with me every time I come home now. Shout out Big Chris, shout out Chops. Thank y'all for keeping me safe. Love y'all. Y'all already know. I'm setting it up. I'll let y'all know when I'm home. I'll be up there. And yeah, man. Tune in next Monday. We got a guest coming in, and I'm gonna tell y'all who that's gonna be. But y'all gonna have to keep following with the Boss Biz.
Hold on, wait. You said you had a special announcement last week. You said you had a special announcement for this.
Yeah. So let me tell y'all the special announcement is that I'm going to the morning show.
Oh, okay.
Starting the morning show on iHeartRadio. My show on iHeartRadio, Rolling with Sixxcess, has reached the numbers of 500 listeners, and that is per hour, which puts me at about close to 98,000 listeners a month now.
Okay.
So what I want y'all to understand is that the show is growing, and I'm playing a lot of artists' music on there. And I want y'all to know, y'all need to get y'all BDS registrations, because I'm doing y'all solace, man. Like, we got like these stations, a lot of these stations that y'all on are not BDS registered. Boss Biz Radio, Hip Hop 95, and all these other stations that I'm working with now. I'm working with companies that actually work to pay the artists. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm putting myself in position to help y'all still yet again. This time I'm not gonna just be dumb and let these things pass me over. So yeah, tune in, man. Keep locked and loaded. Now, I want to tell y'all some other crazy stuff, but y'all already know my video out, my album is out, and I don't want to overwhelm y'all with too much stuff. So keep it locked in and catch us next Monday. So at this time, y'all already know your roach is out and your ash is in the ashtray. And you should be getting ready to roll up another one. Because I know I am. And we out.
Bye, y'all. Have a good day.
Peace.
See y'all next week.